Moving on to the next activity. Take 3 bulbs, connect them end to end. End to end means as shown in the figure here, such that the current that is flowing through each bulb is the same and the potential difference across the bulbs will be changing. So that is called series connection. Series connection. So end to means this end of the bulb is connected to the other end of the bulb, and then this end is connected to the next bulb, and like that. This is called end to end connection or the series connection, where whatever the current which is flowing here will continue to move in all the bulbs equally, and whereas the potential difference across each bulb is different. See, and when you find out the readings of the voltmeters here, V1 plus V2 plus V3 is observed to be the potential difference across all the 3 bulbs. Suppose if you find out like taking a voltmeter and then find the voltage across all the 3 bulbs together, so that is V, and the voltage across each bulb is, first one is V1, second one is V2, third one is V3. Then it is observed that V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So then, if that is the case, what would be the resistance? Right? So to find out the resistance of such a combination, we will move on to the derivation part. See, like let the resistors of the bulbs, whatever you have taken in the activity, to be R1, R2 and R3. Let the potential difference across the resistor is V1, V2, V3. This is the resistance symbol, children. And the potential difference across, this is called parallel combination. So voltmeter is always connected parallel to this. So that means the voltmeter is connected to the 2 ends of the resistor, right? So that is how the connection is made. Then it is called parallel connection. So voltmeter readings will be V1, V2 and V3 here, and across all the 3 resistors together, so it is V. In simple form, you can say that all the 3 resistors will have some equivalent resistance R equivalent, and the final voltage being V, and the current passing through the circuit is I. Okay, so now let us start with Ohm's law again. So according to Ohm's law, okay, so what is Ohm's law? V is, let me write it here. V is equal to IR at constant temperature. So this is Ohm's law, is it not? So now here, if we speak about each potential difference, so V1 is equal to. Now what is series combination? I already said that when the current that is flowing through the circuit passes through all the resistors similarly, that means this current does not split anywhere. It travels into R1, and from R1 it travels into R2, from R2 it travels into R3. That means this is how the current passes through all the resistors equally. So here the current remains same, but the voltage difference is different, potential difference is different. So V1 is equal to IR1, because current is same but the resistor is R1. Similarly, V2 is equal to IR2 and V3 is equal to IR3. And equivalent resistance, if we take it as R equivalent and the net potential difference is V, so we also can write V is equal to IR equivalent. V is equal to IR equivalent. From that means we applied Ohm's law to every case. R1, R2, R3 are the resistors. Suppose if all 3 resistors, that is going to give you an equivalent resistance, we are replacing that with R equivalent, right? So therefore V is equal to IR equivalent. So here potential, the net potential is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. This is what we already observed in the activity. So therefore now V is equal to, in series combination or in series connection, V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So in series connection, V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So therefore in place of V, what you can write? IR equivalent is equal to, in place of V1, IR1. In place of V2, IR2. In place of V3, IR3. So I is common everywhere. So therefore you can cancel that. And R equivalent is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So this is the equivalent resistance when three resistors are connected in series. Okay children, so this is how to find out the equivalent resistance in case of series connection. So pause the video for a moment, take the screenshot, copy the notes. Next activity, so when bulbs are connected in parallel, see that means all the terminals of the bulb are connected to the one particular plate of the battery or terminal of the battery. So you can see that all these ends of the bulb are commonly connected to the negative potential of the battery. And here the other side is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. So thus this is called a parallel combination. So how do we identify parallel combination? That means the current splits and the potential remains same. So potential difference across each bulb is going to be the same. In series connection, current remains same. Potential differences are V1, V2, V3. In parallel connection, we have potential difference to be same, but the current whatever is traveling, like whatever is passing into the circuit is splitting here into I1, I2 and I3. So thus what we have here is I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. So this is what we can measure using a multimeter or by connecting by taking the readings of the ammeter. So these ammeters will give you, this is I1 value, this gives you I2 value, this gives you I3 value, and this is I value. So if you just observe, I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. So from the activity we can find out the net current here. And now to find out the resistors, that is the equivalent resistance offered by all the bulbs, let's move on to the derivation part. So this is how the resistors are connected. You can observe that the resistors, all one ends of the resistor, all the resistor are connected to the negative terminal. The other opposite ends of the resistors are connected to the positive terminal. This is called parallel combination. And now you can see that a current is splitting into I1, I2, I3, where the resistors are being R1, R2 and R3. So if you take it to be an equivalent resistance, if you replace it with equivalent resistance, R equivalent, the current which is entering here, of course, leaves the, at the end of the terminal, it leaves, right? See, at the end of all these resistors, you can see that this is again I here. So the same drawing, we are drawing it here. So to find out the effective resistance in this case, we use again Ohm's law only. So from Ohm's law, what do we have? V is equal to IR at constant temperature. So these are the applications of Ohm's law. So now let us find out. Like in the first case, what do we have? V is common in everything. So V is equal to I1 R1, which implies I1 is equal to V by R1. Similarly, V is equal to I2 R2. In this case, I2 is equal to V by R2. V is equal to I3 R3 implies I3 is equal to V by R3 and V is equal to IR, where R being the equivalent REQ is equivalent resistance, and I, that is the net current flowing, I is equal to V by R equivalent. So we got all these equations. Now in parallel combination, what did we observe in the activity? That the current which is flowing is split into I1, I2, I3. So therefore I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to I. So thus we will write that one here now. I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Where, in which combination? In parallel connection. In parallel connection, potential remains constant and the current splits. So now substituting the values of current in this. So V by R equivalent is equal to, in place of I1, V by R1, in place of I2, V by R2, in place of I3, it is V by R3. So V is common everywhere, hence we can cancel it. So 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. This is how we can find out the R equivalent. That means equivalent resistance when resistors are connected in parallel. Suppose if two resistors are given, you can take the LCM, isn't it? R1, R2, R3 is the LCM. So thus you will get, see, I can write it like this. So taking the LCM, R1, R2, R3 is the LCM. And now R2, R3 plus R1, R3 plus R1, R2. So this is how you will be getting that. Or R equivalent is equal to, reciprocal of this is equal to reciprocal of this. That is R1, R2, R3 divided by, I can write this as sigma R1, R2. Or R1, R2 plus R2, R3 plus R3, R1. So this is the effective resistance in case of parallel connection. Okay, children. So now if two resistors are given, you can find out substituting in the formula. So it is enough if you can remember 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 and so on if number of resistors are given to us. Okay, children. So take a screenshot. The circuit diagram, this is how you have to draw. Current always flows from positive terminal to the negative terminal inside the circuit. So these are the relations of I1, I2, I3, I, and the effective current, the net current I, and then finally finding the effective resistance. See children, now let us compare both the conditions. Here when the bulbs are connected in series and now here when the bulbs are connected in parallel. So now let us try to understand what happens in series and parallel combinations. So in parallel combination the effective resistance decreases and in series combination the effective resistance increases. So when you want to increase the effective resistance, you will connect it in series. Right? When you want to decrease the effective resistance, then you will connect it in parallel. So let us come to forget about the resistors, but usually in our household, how the appliances are connected. So usually in the household, appliances are connected in parallel. Why not in series? So if it is in series combination, so why not in series? See, suppose if you connect in series, right? It is something like that from your mains, that means from your power main supply. So you are connecting the appliances like this. Suppose if I have a disconnection here, what happens? What happens? Now the current which is flowing into this bulb will not be allowed to flow into this. So therefore what happens? The total circuit is open now. So therefore the appliances will not work if any one of the connections is failed. Now suppose if the same is with the parallel, if you see in this parallel connection, suppose out of these three appliances this bulb stopped working. Right? If this bulb stopped working, so then there is no problem for this bulb and this bulb, because here if you observe this circuit is closed. If you observe this part also, this circuit is closed. So thus that means these two are now in connection with the power supply, hence there will not be any problem. So thus in our household the appliances are connected in parallel, so that if any of the appliances does not work also the remaining will work. But if you connect in series, if one of the appliances do not work, then there will be a disconnection of the complete circuit, and thus there will not be a current supply into the other appliances and all the appliances stop working. Okay children, this is very important point to be remembered. So now the next part is electric power. Already in mechanics you have learned power is equal to work done by time. So here work done is equal to Q into V in electrostatic with electrostatic potential and charge, where Q is equal to I into T, is not, or I is equal to Q by T. This is how we define current. I is equal to Q by T. Substituting that, we will be getting, so in place of Q by T, you will be substituting I. So I into V, P is equal to I into V. See, I am writing only all the combinations of the power. So however the numerical is given, you can solve the problem. So power in terms of work by time or energy by time, that is QV by T. Our power is equal to IV because I is equal to Q by T. Or from Ohm's law we have V is equal to IR. Substituting that, we will be getting P is equal to I into IR, that is I square R. Or you can substitute in place of I, V by R. So here V by R, that is V square by R. So V square by R. So in all these combinations you can write power formula. Okay. So when you know in how many forms you can write power formula, in those many forms you can do the numerical. Okay children, so this is about the power, electric power. So now usually we will be talking about electric shock. Just like for an interesting topic, I wanted to cover this here. See, when do humans get shocked? Right? So that means usually when we are very wet, when the human body is wet, the resistance offered is about 100 ohms. And if the body is very much dry, it is 5 lakh ohms. That means very high resistance. So hence when very small voltage of 24 volts or something is comes in connection with the human body. So what happens here? The resistance offered is 10 power 5 volts, that is 5 lakh. And thus the current is equal to 2.4 into 10 power minus 5 amps, that is 0.24 milliamps. Or you can say that 0.00024 amps. That means before 24 you have 3 zeros. So that much, only that much of the current flows inside our body, and thus it will not get much affected. But if you go with like our household, it is connected with a live wire connection of 240 volt connection, and thus if that is the case, you are going to get this as 0.0024 amps or 2.4 milliamps. So this is going to affect our body a lot. So therefore the body parts will get damaged, and usually heart will get damaged at a current flow of 0.07 amperes. So care must be taken whenever you handle with the electrical appliances or any repair works at your household, to see that the main supply is off, and whatever the supply which is coming into the house has to be stopped. Then only you must do all the repair works. Then afterwards you have to on it. So let us see in your textbook a table is given, like for how much current, what kind of damage will be happening inside the human body. Let us see that now. So this is how it is given. Current in amperes, if it is 0.001, it can be felt. That means that kind of like something is pulling us is felt. And if it is 0.005, it is painful. 0.010 causes involuntary muscle contractions. And 0.015 causes loss of muscle control. 0.07 if through the heart causes serious disruption, probably fatal if current lasts for more than 1 second. See, it is only for 1 second. So it's so dangerous. So therefore it's very, very important that we keep in mind before we use any of the electrical appliances. Right? As well as when we handle them, we must take care that though that much of high voltage will definitely lead us for fatal things. So hence it's better to avoid to come into contact without any precautions.